Listen, no celestial elephants were harmed in the making of this video, I swear. Welcome to Pack Tactics, where I hope PETA doesn't see this video. Disclaimer, by the way, this is all about some high-level stuff. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do this, but in theory, it's pretty fun. The celestial elephants are actually Hollyphants. They are a CR5 creature, but have some pretty powerful abilities. The main one I want to talk about today is Aura of Invulnerability. But first, we need to describe the Hollyphants. This video is sponsored by Describe, where you can get box descriptions of basically everything, thousands of scenes. They can help us out today. We don't know what a Hollyphant looks like, so let's read what the experts have to say. A warmth precedes the arrival of the strangely charming creature, an otherworldly blending of fairy and elephant. A glow exudes from the creature's golden hide, and ears flap in time with the beat of its gossamer wings as it floats lazily in the air. It emanates a tiny shrill trumpet from its minuscule trunk, and all within earshot find themselves unnaturally charmed by its presence. Aww, they sound adorable. That reminds me, Halloween is very soon. Describe loves Halloween and is ready to scare the shit out of your players.
Aha! Spooky scary!
Look at that, you can throw zombie Shrek at your players. It's ogre time and much more. Check out describe.com/packtactics. It's really good, and if you like what you see, they hope to earn your subscription. Use the code PACKTACTICS at the checkout to get 10% off your first subscription payment. Back to the video. This is the strong feature I care the most about. An invisible aura forms a 10-foot radius sphere around the Hollyphant for as long as it lives. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier can't affect creatures or objects within it. Even if the spell is cast using a higher level spell slot, such a spell can target creatures and objects within the barrier, but the spell has no effect on them. Similarly, the area within the barrier is excluded from the areas affected by such spells. The Hollyphant can use an action to suppress this trait until its concentration ends, as if concentrating on a spell. That's quite potent. Having one of these guys in your party would be amazing. But Kobold, how can I get a Hollyphant? Well, there are a couple of ways. Let me list a few. 1, you could find one. Number 2, true polymorph a big rock into one, or alternatively some NPC or even a simulacrum into one. 3rd, get someone to cast Conjure Celestial at 9th level to summon one. Now, there is an issue of keeping this little rascal with you and obedient. Well, for that we can use the power of friendship, or planar binding. With this spell, you attempt to bind a celestial, an elemental, a fae, or a fiend to your service. The creature must be within range for the entire casting of the spell. Typically, the creature is first summoned into the center of an inverted magic circle in order to keep it trapped while this spell is cast. At the completion of the casting, the target must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, it is bound to serve you for the duration. If the creature was summoned or created by another spell, that spell's duration is expended to match the duration of this spell. A bound creature must follow your instructions to the best of its ability. You might command the creature to accompany you on an adventure, to guard a location, or to deliver a message. The creature obeys the letter of your instructions, but if the creature is hostile to you, it strives to twist your words to achieve its own objectives. If the creature carries out your instructions completely before the spell ends, it travels to you to report this fact, if you are on the same plane of existence. If you are on a different plane of existence, it returns to the place where you bound it, and remains there until the spell ends. And then you can upcast it so it's bound for longer. To top everything off, we use imprisonment. With how niche this spell is, I doubt many of you have heard of it. It's another 9th level spell, and it requires a pretty expensive component. For our use, we need a large transparent gemstone worth 500 gold per hit die of the Hollyphant. That would be 8. You create a magical restraint to hold a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be bound by the spell. If it succeeds, it is immune to this spell if you cast it again. While affected by this spell, the creature doesn't need to breathe, eat, or drink, and it doesn't age. Divination spells can't locate or perceive the target. When you cast the spell, you choose one of the following forms of imprisonment. Minimus containment is what we care about. The target shrinks to a height of 1 inch and is imprisoned inside a gemstone or similar object. Light can pass through the gemstone normally, allowing the target to see out and other creatures to see in, but nothing else can pass through, even by means of teleportation or planar travel. The gemstone can't be cut or broken while the spell remains in effect. And then we've got this, ending the spell. During the casting of the spell in any of its versions, you can specify a condition that will cause the spell to end and release the target. The condition can be as specific or as elaborate as you choose. But the DM must agree that the condition is reasonable and has a likelihood of coming to pass. The conditions can be based on the creature's name, identity, or deity, but otherwise must be based on observable actions or qualities, and not based on intangibles such as level, class, or hit points. A Dispel magic spell can end the spell only if it is cast as a 9th level spell, targeting either the prison or the special component used to create it. You can use a particular special component to create only one prison at a time. If you cast the spell again using the same component, the target of the first casting is immediately freed from its binding. And ta-da! Now we have a celestial elephant bound to our service. But Kobold, someone could just dispel magic the gem and then the Hollyphant dies in a heartbeat. It has low HP, low HP. Aha! That's what you think. But let's check Aura of Invulnerability again. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier can't affect creatures or objects within it, even if the spell is cast using a higher level spell slot. Dispel magic is normally a 3rd level spell, so even if you upcast it to 9th level, it won't work. And if we really want to make sure that our Hollyphant doesn't change their opinion about concentrating on Aura of Invulnerability, we can also use Sequester. By means of this spell, a willing creature or an object can be hidden away, safe from detection for the duration. When you cast the spell and touch the target, it becomes invisible and can't be targeted by divination spells or perceived through scrying sensors created by divination spells. If the target is a creature, it falls into a state of suspended animation. Time ceases to flow for it, and it doesn't grow older. You can set a condition for the spell to end early. The condition can be anything you choose, but it must occur or be visible within 1 mile of the target. Examples include after 1,000 years or when the Tarrasque awakens. This spell also ends if the target takes any damage. Yeah, this is totally ethical. Well, if you say so, Gator. Just a reminder to you power gamers out there, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do this. Hollyphants are friends after all. End of video. Me and D-Scribe hope to earn your subscription. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.